Well, hey, bad dad jokes. What did I walk in on here? How are we doing, sir?
Good evening, sir. The
Doing some light
exceptionally
reading.
bad dad jokes, so frightfully awful, yet wonderfully spiffing, volume one. Christmas present. It's that time of year to break them out. We're back in full swing of school.
That we are. Like crazily, you probably could have written that book. Let's just be honest. All
Oh,
right.
I know.
Okay. Let's work on that one. Make some
Here's a
money,
good one.
royalties. Yeah.
Why do chicken coops only have two doors?
Oh, I don't know, Don. Why?
Because if they had four, they would be chicken sedans.
Uh, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, there might have to be a bad joke of the day during the show. Oh my gosh. That's
I
good
do a
stuff.
dad
I like
joke of
it.
the week every week in my classroom podcast.
Ah, yeah. You're not using AI for that. You're going old school.
Going
Digging
old
it up.
school,
I
going
like
through the
that.
book. Sometimes I make them up myself. Then
Yeah.
they're very exceptionally bad.
I love it. Well, we use a program called MobyMax, and it always has a really bad joke. So the kids, like, sometimes they all get the same joke, and it's the kids that they fight to be able to answer it, like, or share it with me. They're all fired up to do that. It's pretty funny. Good stuff. So how's the weather in Western PA?
It is all over the place.
Yeah.
Started out 40 some degrees this morning. I had long sleeves on. This school bought us some nice long sleeve jerseys. No one was going to wear them because it's supposed to be 80 degrees. Forecast changed. I wore it. Left school because my daughter was playing tennis outside. Shorts and a t-shirt supporting her school. So it's been all over. Tomorrow's probably jacket day in the parking lot for the morning parking lot duty.
Yeah.
What's it like out by you?
It's lovely PA weather where you got the dipping down to like the low 50s into the 40s overnight. So you wake up, you're chilly, and then by the evening time, it's really, backyard, fireplace, fire pit weather is really what it turns out to be. But yeah, you hit those mid 70s during the day, a little warm, the sunglasses on and, just making sure you got the short sleeves on. Tomorrow we've got, our midweek, we call it our Wildcat Wednesdays. And if you donate into the PTO, you get to wear jeans for the day. And then we have a school shirt every year. We get a school shirt. This year, it's like a baseball jersey kind of a thing, like a baseball jersey shirt. So got that tomorrow to look forward to. And then we have Spirit Day and Pep Rally on Friday. So another jeans day and football season, working the chain gang and, working on complimenting and helping to correct refs if they make the right calls or wrong calls kind of a thing. So I kind of our staff on the sidelines kind of prides ourselves with the connections we have with the officials. And sometimes they'll come to the sideline and be like, how was that call? And we'll be like, hey, that was a really good one. That was a tough one. Or yeah, you might want to look to the sidelines next time. And if we're all doing this, like, yeah, shake that call off, wave the flag off. So, but it's interesting, but I mean, bottom line is they're humans, but I had overstep my bounds a little bit, having a conversation with an AD 2 weeks ago or opening Friday night, just for being on the sidelines for 17, 18 years. There's just an etiquette to how you do things. And sometimes you just get some young coaches who just want to spout off and flip out. And it's like, the refs are human. It's not like they're getting paid buku bucks to do this deal. And you just got to ease up sometimes. And so, yeah, that's kind of interesting, but it's definitely a strategy to it, like everything else. So, but yeah, so it's football weather right now and feeling pretty good. I got the sweatshirt on, as the temperatures are dropping down. So I'm always loving that. And then Labor Day weekend, I know, we were talking about not being able to jump in the pool. We went up to north of Bloomsburg, Wapwallopen, and, weren't able to jump into the lake. Definitely a little too chilly for that. So yeah, it's kind of wild right now.
Yeah,
I think into the weekend is supposed to be decent. Then it's supposed to get back to like September hot weather next week, I think. So yeah.
So we might be cold weather next week. I'm going to give it one more week before I decide to close the pool. But this weekend I got to miss Friday football games because going to one of our PACT colleagues, one of her favorite artists, going to see Meghan Trainor this week in Pittsburgh on Friday night.
I see.
Taking my daughter, so it should be a good concert.
Yeah. Well, you got that's going on Friday night. High school football's going on Friday night, but we always like to do a little football talk.
Oh yeah,
getting a little fancy this year.
Nice.
You know, preseason means nothing. We're resetting the deck. Who do we got? Oh, Steelers against the Falcons. I don't know, Dom. I don't know. I made the helmet a little bit bigger on purpose. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a real that's going to be a battle. And then you got the Finns and the Jaguars. So it's going to be interesting.
Two good games.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny thing about this, though, I didn't get a chance to do it yet. You're still working on getting with the kids, but I'm going to put some kids in charge of doing our football graphic every other week. So I'm just going to say it's going to be a neat outsourced job. I'm going to be working with my students. So
I can just imagine what the Steeler after KTI, when you bribed the Stars to boo the Steelers. I got slammed with emails and Slack messages. We really like the Steelers, but Verno gave us extra candy. He littered the green room with M&Ms.
I actually delivered on the green room. That's what it was. No, hey, there's more Steelers fans than anything else in our building. So I'm more worried about what the Dolphins are going to get. So I have definitely jerseys hanging and some, number one fans all put up. And every so often you find them just switched around. They're like, what? Who flipped that backwards? So nothing's showing. So teachers and students. And yeah, there's all those elements going on. Uh-oh. Did you see this? Go Birds. Not sure if you popped that on there yet. Brendan's getting a little, he's getting wild. He's getting wiry already. Buddy. Easy now. Just calm that excitement down.
I'd have given him this one. Hello, but that would have been it.
I tell you. Yep. Oh, good stuff. Well, yeah, got football going. You got cool weather going. Like, I'm ready for it to continue. I got a beard built for nice cool weather. And school's underway. How's the opening? I guess this was day 8 for us, 8 being back right now. How are things going to school?
Good. Up and down. Like, the kids are great.
Yeah.
I've had kids without computers, kids without chargers. I think we have almost everyone with a computer. I still let my charger out. I got extra charging stations. I ordered 2 last year, ordered a 3rd one this year. So I'm covered in my room. Kids bring their chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm easing everyone into things, having some technical difficulty with my ViewSonic board. Speaking of our colleague who likes the band, the music I'm going to go see.
Yep. She missed that one. That's why she's still being nice. So,
yep.
Yeah. Calm down.
But
I was getting choked up.
Put a sticky note program up. It works great on the computer. Gonna have the kids come up and just do some work with World War II dictators. And wouldn't work. The touchscreen on the ViewSonic board would open new sticky notes, but it wouldn't move the ones around. So I had to get through to help. I was watching some videos and their videos didn't match up with what I had. So I just put in a help ticket through our district. Yeah.
Listen, I will gladly send you one of my Surfaces that you can use. It'll probably hook up and work better than those MacBooks because, those drivers and touch devices don't really gel. Well, Mac hasn't figured that out yet.
I was running a Windows machine.
Oh, you were? Okay. All right.
Brendan, I will definitely take you up on that offer to help. And she was listening earlier.
Yep, there she is. Yep. She's not from your kind of music. It's not music in general. She likes your music.
She's all about that music. That music. To paraphrase the song.
Oh man, you get me. That's there's a whole bunch of spoofs on that we use in math. It's pretty funny. All right, man. Well, listen, we got a lot of going on. School's kicking off. We're already getting punchy with our virtual guests that are checking out, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're on Instagram Live today. A lot of different stuff happening. So, hey, you're here. I'm here. I hear it's a Tuesday.
Let's roll it. PACT
it's time for. Let's go.
PACT.
I got so excited I cut you off. Welcome to the PACT Pod, a show for educators by educators. PACT is a 100% volunteer-run organization that focuses on educational technology uses in the classroom in Pennsylvania
and beyond.
All right, my name is Eric Verno. I am the president of PACT, and with me today, as always, is my co-host.
Dom Salvucci, the vice president of PAECT.
Yes, he is. Look at that. Perfectly timed.
And
all right, today we are on episode 62. Go ahead. What's the title, Dom?
Begin back to school, begin the again.
All right. And that's a play on words. Go ahead.
Yes. An old timey song, begin the begin or something like that. I can't pronounce the second word, but I was like, you know what? We're back again at the beginning of the school year. So
yeah,
that's the time frame that I'm teaching my kids. So we just jumped into it, and
I like
the old timey music songs.
Hey, listen, if you're like me at different times in the class, just music will pop into my head, words. I jokingly tell the kids when we talk about doing collaboration and communication, I'm like, you don't want to know the stuff that's popping in my head. It's like Elmo singing different songs or different things, with having the kids go through all the different things like you coming up with that thought, so we might as well roll with it. You know what I mean? You might as well lean into it. Our brains are already working that way. Let's just go. That's how it's got to work.
Today, I threw a image up of dictators from World War II. And we talked last week when we did a book it on stuff that one of the dictators was different. The Sesame Street song, one of these is not like the other.
Yeah.
I actually played it for my Perry 9. I pulled it up and I proofed most of it. So I played the first 30 seconds and get a chance to listen to the whole song, because you never know on YouTube if someone edits a song and if something bad is going to pop up without. So I only got the first part of the song. Kids were like, that's a real song. I'm like, yes. Like, why didn't you sing it? I'm like, because I like you guys and I don't want to scare you with my voice. I know
that's good
better.
stuff. Yeah. You'll know when I start singing that we got a little friction going on. Yeah. That's how you let them know. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of good stuff. I mean, I know it's almost like, the begin when you have it, like you begin the again, as we talked about, we did a little bit in August. Cause again, we were gearing up, our brains were kind of shifting towards getting ready for the classroom, setting things up. Now we got stuff set up. Now it's about establishing routines, building those connections, doing what you can, just like I said, just getting to know the kids. I'm still getting to know names. I'm telling you, just the older I get. And got some unique names and some different names this year. So of course, the way they spell, they just like to trick you, as my daughters always complain about their spellings of their names and messing with their teachers and all they would call them the different names. But, just it's so important to really establish that and get that going as we kick off the year,
Yeah. And then what gets me is when you have several names that are very similar. There's like one or two letters difference in it, but it's a big pronunciation. And it's like, wait a second. So I do right out of the gate, I let them pick their seats. And I do a seating chart, and I'm like, it's not set in stone. It's if I'm out, but it's also helping me because I'm not confident enough sometimes. And every once in a while I'll guess and I'll get the name wrong, and then I feel bad.
Right. No, listen, I love when you get it right on like 2 days solid. And then you hit like third day and you're like, oh, I'm out. Like you say, and they just give you a look. I'm like, listen, my joke is I'm always like, guys, I'm 762. Like, what can I do? I mean, look at the gray hairs. Like, come on, I'm doing the best I can with the tools I got. The tools are getting less and less. And the kids start laughing. But, or I'll make up some cheesy name and I'll say it. And I mean, the big thing now is like, I'll say something. I forget even like one kid, Nate the Great, pulling that from Ted Lasso, and he just looks at me. I'm like, anybody ever call you that? He goes, no. I go, all right, man. I'm the first guy. May not be the last, but I'm the first one. Or you'll say a joke, and be like, oh, you ever hear that one before? They're like, yeah, since first grade. I'm like, well, listen, I never said I was original, but I'm going to hammer it to death. I said, we're going to rock and roll with this. So yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. But and every so often kids will come back and still want to be called that nickname. Or I have some parents, actually Nate the Great, his sister was 2 years ago. I had her and mom came back and like, she still goes by LJ. Like, I mean, it was just her first name, last name, just initials. I would just call her it. Yeah. And, she goes, yep, that's what she signs all of her papers as still. So she's in 8th grade now and still rocking it. So sometimes they stick.
One student, why don't you just give us nicknames if you can't remember our names? I'm like, because then I have to remember the nicknames. And not only will I get your names wrong, but I could get the nicknames wrong. Then you're really going to be mad at me. She's like, that makes sense. I'm like, trust me on this.
Yeah, that's why you got to make it really obscure, something with the way they react, it's got to, yeah. Oh, that's funny. I tell you, but it's all about, just like, again, I always jokingly, you go through the rules of your classroom. For me, honesty is the best policy, covers all things. And the one I always tell them that they always like, look at me and I'm like, laughter. I said, you got to learn to laugh at yourself. I'm like, if I didn't laugh at the stuff I did, if I just didn't like, just let it go and laugh, I'd be like running out of this classroom 15 times in the period I have you, crying because of the dumb things I'm doing, whether I'm tripping, saying the wrong word. I'm like, it's okay. We're going to laugh. And if it gets where I'm laughing and now I'm getting upset about it, now you got to let me know. And there's that fine line to have. But I'm like, well, when you're in here, laughter is a positive thing, and just working through all of that, it's just how it's got to be. I mean, you got a lot of kids that are uptight. And as we're doing our book study with the new generation, a great conversation with Steve Robertson we had last week or 2 weeks ago. So excited for our book study we're doing with our leadership, and like, there's just the information of being able to share how different this generation is, and just what they have, and just even that. And like, some people mentioned they're one of the other books that's kind of in the same concept is The Anxious Generation. So you got a lot of that in the classroom, and just take a deep breath and laugh. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Wait a minute. Tell your face you're laughing, because your face doesn't know you're laughing.
I owe you a big thank you.
Uh-oh.
You have my students highly engaged.
Hold on. Let me hit extra record. Hold on a second. Let me go. Go. I got it. All right, go.
Thank you, Mr. Verno. I'm getting emails over the weekend. I explained donutable offenses, which is a takeoff on your donut hole offenses.
Oh, yeah.
Where you make a major mistake, you owe the kids donut holes. I owe them donuts.
Yep.
And I got an email, put out the podcast, and Fran was home. My wife was home Saturday. She was off for the holiday weekend. So Charlie, Saturday, she comes in, hangs out, does the podcast with me. Well, I left her out with Fran, scratching at the door, middle of the podcast. I bring her in. Then she hears Fran doing something. She wants to go outside, scratching the door to go out. Get frazzled. It's starting to thunder, lightning, this and that's going on. I screw up and I get an email. So you said we're off school on Monday, but then you said on Monday we're going to be doing this in class. That's a major screw up, isn't it? Shouldn't we get donuts? I'm like, no, that's just chaos. I said, but I do owe you. I said, so if you would like a tchotchke, and she looked at me, what's that? I'm like pop sockets, pop-its, pens, like notebook, or you want candy or something like that, snack cake, I will get you something like that, but I'm not buying no class donuts on that because it was chaos. Said, but the kids are like, you misspelled that word. I'm like, yes, I did. And they're like, there's 3 words misspelled. That should be 3 small things should come. Like, no. With the one class, I put the wrong day up. I put like Happy Thursday Eve on a Thursday. It should have been a Friday Eve. They didn't catch it. I kind of gloated on that one. Like, I owed you donuts and you didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So they're like in tune, like they're waiting for me to. They're waiting to pass.
Yeah, well, I already owe donut holes because my one class they were supposed to get to. We're doing our math fact testament. Getting them all done, just banging out all of them, and I'm like, we're gonna do 2 this period. Let's just get it over with. Let's take a vote. You guys agree with me? All but like 2 kids raise their hand. Yeah, let's just get it over with. And I'm like, we hit the Mr. Verno. We didn't get to it. I'm like, my Italian runneth over. I apologize, but now I'm gonna owe you donuts. So they have no idea what's coming. So this Friday we'll break out some donut holes. So fortunately we have, York County has maple donuts. So I'm able to go there and pick those up, the day olds or whatever, and take those in. So I'm gonna have to work on. I know they send them to not the day olds, but they send donuts to like West Virginia, different places. So I'm gonna have to go over there and see if I can get some mailed out to you and have them delivered so your students can fully enjoy the donut holes and get off the donut train.
Okay, Kevin, my neighbor and big fan of the show, he was upset because he was told that they don't make maple donuts around here in the summertime because the icing will melt. So it's usually a fall and spring.
Well,
he was looking he was jonesing for him.
All the donuts, the glazed donuts are all like maple glaze, and it's year round here. So I'm not sure if it's something different in the scenario, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to check that out. But I'll go knock at the headquarters and see what they can do. Where's the closest delivery point? But yeah, so my daughters, they were visiting Claysburg, Pennsylvania, and I guess that's where the home of Sheets is. And they were just talking about how
Evansburg.
Yeah, talk about how most amazing food there. I'm like, well, listen, it's right near the home plant. They got to make sure everything's good. So they were all fired up. But yeah, they don't, they haven't cracked the donut thing. But a buddy of mine who was a 7th grade math teacher just retired this past year. His brother works there, and he would talk about the engineering that would go in for them to decide, is it better to bake all the goods at our place and send them out, or set up different stores in different locations to bake and then share with everybody. And it's when you go look, and it is just amazing the math that is being done in the back end of all these different places that you would never think. But
Oh yeah.
so that whole donut concept, man, it's big time math.
It's a major undertaking. I mean, it's not, and even you take look at your typical, I don't want to say mom and pop business, but independent 1 or 2 stores, the whole background that goes into it, and the economics and the decisions and whatnot. It's just a lot of planning. People don't realize that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's all good stuff. So yeah, and even like now, the big thing I do too is science class. I tell the kids, like, extra credit. I always do extra credit for tissues, because man, school tissues, I'm like, they're like 2 or 3 degrees away from sandpaper, but we all have those. So I give like, we do trimesters. So it used to be quarters, and it used to be 2 boxes per quarter. They could bring in for science to just be +2, and they could tack it onto a quiz anytime they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tell them, I'm like, go to the Dollar Tree, go to Dollar General. I just don't want the travel packs, but just a box. Doesn't have to be crazy fancy. I go, your basic Dollar General box is going to be 3 steps above what we have at school. And so I already have like a mountain of about 15 to 20 tissue boxes sitting there. And I let them, because I have them for dual, kids that have me for science. And now we have try, so they can bring 3 boxes in. And then if they have me for math, they could bring another 3 boxes. And then all of my teammates steal them. They're always sending kids over to get these different ones, but I'll tuck away the puffs with lotion and aloe, I'll save those aside, keep the good stuff. But that's another, way that I just do extra credit. And I tell them, I said, listen, you'll get extra credit on something, but really you and your classmates are going to benefit when you got your runny noses or colds kind of hit. So now's the time where we build up all that. And then the other one I really like doing, kind of go how you pull your current events kind of things in with your classes. I tell the kids, I'm like, in my science classes, I'm like, science is all around you. This was like last week when I was talking about it. I said, when you go outside, what is it? They're like, hot. I go, it's really unusually hot right now. I'm like, that's science. I'm like, if you find anything on it and you give me a summary, make sure it aligns with what you're learning in language arts. And I'm like, we'll count that as extra credit. It's kind of unlimited, whether it's a Google Doc, whether you print the thing out, whether you handwrite it at home, so I'm always trying to get ways for kids to be active, doing different things to pull it all in. So yeah, just like those, again, this is the time where we're doing, again, building all of your routines, getting your connections kind of set up, and just doing those little things. I mean, those kids are dying like to nail you. I mean, they're dying to catch you doing the wrong thing, So that's awesome. That's what's really cool.
We did, last year I did a Cami activity all about me, all about myself. Yeah. The kids told me stuff. This year I pulled it over. I found a template in Canva, had the kids make those, and then I post them on Wakelet and push them out. Just that belief of having the students publish, but also, it's a form of advocacy. Here's what I'm doing in my class. Here's what the kids are learning. Here's what they're doing. The class has worthwhile things going on. Not about so much about me, but what the students are doing. Yeah. So push that out. Shared mine with them. Then I started rolling out. Because we did the book study on gamification. We just finished that up this past week, and that was an excellent. We had the author came on, and I started the gamification, like very dipping my toe in the water, if you will.
I'm doing that in your room.
The laying gamification in as like enrichment points, and then the kids are into it, and had them doing all different kinds of activities, stick-togethers. One of the things I'm going to talk about is choice boards. I added that since we did our pre-planning before the show. But I found a free interactive choice board, and then to add to it, kids are like, they won't let them on their phones, and they still, you can't be zero because the score isn't zero, so they're good. And I'll catch them, and I'm like, guys, put it away, and they're pretty good about putting it away. I haven't had to take any phones. So once but they're like, well, what do we do if we're done? I'm like, here. And I pulled up the choice board, linked it into Schoology. And I said, you know, if there's something, some kids are, can we do our own thing? I'm like, sure. And they're like, well, I said, what is that? Like, well, you said we could do. I'm like, you're not in trouble. I said, is that something? Is it educational? Is it, you know, school appropriate? Yes. Send me the link. I can add to this choice board. I'll figure that out. And when I add to the choice board, I'll put that in. So I says, you know, part of, you know, the gamification, a part of the enrichment, you know, letting them have ownership and suggest things for me, you know, to add to the choice boards and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, why do all the work when you have, especially, you know, your age group too, even the younger kids, there's things they like that they know about. We don't. Hey, if it's school appropriate, make the suggestion. We'll see if we can, you know, get it going. Why not share the labor of coming up with the ideas, share the creativity. They have ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Even have them like have a way to add stuff to it or whatever, you know, a quick Google form that what do you think would be a good activity to do? And yeah, when you're saying that, it made me think of even, I don't get to it till a little bit later, but there is a, when I was doing my training, I got these Minecraft cards and there is a choice board for the Minecraft based on some different worlds that they have. And the kids can kind of like, they look at it and then there's a card they can get and it has a link to it. Now they're all in the actual app where they can find it in the library that's already given. And then they open it. And one's like build a tree house. So they got to work on building a tree house. Another one's like redesigning your bedroom. But the kids can kind of work on it and then they check it off. And then, you know, I basically set up an empty assignment in Google Classroom where they can kind of insert a screenshot or they could do a video of fly through kind of a deal. And then they can add that, you know, something that they can work on progressively throughout. And then when they get finished with it, turn it in. So it's always awesome to have those, you know, you know, choice boards, voice and choice, you know, whatever the case may be, whether it's a part of your actual activity, little side things that the kids can do, you know, it's always, you know, getting them into that routine, building them up to the ability to do that is big. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. And that's like the one thing the kids, if they get done, and because I have all different levels in my room, same grade, but varying abilities, give them something to do. Some kids are done in, you know, 30 seconds, double check your work. Other kids take, you know, longer. Here, go do this or go, you know, I put the stick together up on the big board and I had kids coming that you wouldn't think would normally want to do that. And they're like, we can go up on the big board. Yeah. And they're up there, you know, hitting the board, coloring stuff in. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Explore Like a Pirate was the book.
Right.
Michael Matera was kind enough to jump on the author was in the book study last week.
That's awesome.
So we've been doing a lot of good book studies through PAACT.
Yeah, our PD department's been doing a great job. But, you know, I think that's just kind of a great segue. Why don't we segue in to talk about some of the upcoming things that we do have at PAACT? What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, so we got our Glide show made famous at PAACT with our regional director. All right, kick it in. All right, August is already gone, man. It's out. So we got some September events kind of listed here. In-person event, Lego and Libations at the Mystic Ways Brewery, hosted by Northeast. We got our virtual kickoff with South Central. I know that they're eagerly working, and that's going to be through Zoom. So check the different things there. And again, as always, when we check our PAACT calendar, a little bit more full in this scenario. So we've got, all right, so let's see here. Obviously tonight we got the pod. We got a ClassLink webinar. All right, happening on the 10th, something to check out. The back to school meetup for, that's the Mechanicsburg Brewing Company. So let's click in here. All right, so we got 7 registering so far. So
mechanistic, not Mechanicsburg. Mechanistic.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, well, I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, that's happening in South Central because that would be a South Central. So Mechanistic Brewing. All right, so we got that going on.
That's on the edge of my driving. I really would like to go to that, but that's like a little over. That's like an hour and a half away. That's kind of pushing it.
I thought you meant like on the edge of your driveway where you take your golf cart down to the local brewery. Okay, all right, a little different there. All right, of course, we got the pod on the 17th. We got PAACT, our virtual board meeting. So PAACT board members attending that. We got Collection Connection, Smithsonian Resources. All right, we got We got Maureen Leary will be sharing a wealth of free content across disciplines that sparks curiosity, inspires creativity, encourages design thinking. All right. So I'm gonna guess that's that's our PD professional development series. All right. So
Yep.
PD is gonna be kicking that off. All right, doing some great stuff there. The Lego and Libation is happening on the 21st. September 20th, the Verno family will be at the Bloomsburg Fair. All right. So, yeah.
Nice.
And then that's a big time going on there. That's not in the PHT calendar, but it almost should be. Opening night of the Bloomsburg Fair, Buck Night. That's going to Mick. And then tiptoeing into October, we got another book study kind of going How to Teach AI by Rochelle Dean Poth. So that is kicking off. So that's what's going on at PACT. Always a lot of good stuff.
So, question.
Answer.
Bloomsburg Fair.
Yes,
is there going to be a beard in the dunk tank?
No beard in the dunk tank. No, not this beard anyway. I don't know. Maybe somebody else's. Not this beard. The oldest state fair in the U.S., buddy. That's good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. So we go head up there, and I think my daughters and my wife are going to a concert. Some Swindell guy on Saturday. They're going to be doing that. So I'll be heading back to town for other things going on. We got a conference here locally that's happening on Saturday. So yeah, busy September, but good stuff. And of course, I never miss a back to school night to go and talk about my daughters with the teacher. And I'm down to my final daughter. So one junior left. So I get to, normally it was divide and conquer by my wife. I'm like, we're both going to get to sit there. So that means I'm going to get yelled at even more for the questions I ask the teacher while we're doing it. And how many times I give them a PACT card.
That you get that too. I got the last week was meet the teacher night over here in Elwood because they just started today. Was their first day of classes due to construction, and I said, I texted my daughter because she was at tennis. I go, let me see your schedule. She's like, do you have your PACT cards? I'm like, I paused. I said, no. She goes, it took you a while to respond. No, I'm not giving you the schedule. I walk around and I just, here's a card. Hey, this great organization. There's some great, great ideas. And
yeah, why not? Right. Yeah. Good time to do it. All right, man.
You're embarrassing. I'm like, what? This is, it's teacher talk.
Well, yeah, I need to get all the teachers that way in the mornings. I can message them, be like, hey, she didn't clean her room. Can you remind her about that during history class? Is that all right? Oh, it's good stuff. I don't know what's worse. Your parent being a teacher in the school you're at, or your parent knowing the teachers in your school. Yes. I don't know.
I mean, I could tell them dad jokes instead. I think she'd rather me hand out the PACT cards.
I do think you are correct with that. Yeah. All right, man. So good stuff with PACT. A lot of that going on, and now I think we'll stroll right into. Then we got some tech notes to kick it. What do you think?
Yes, we do.
All right, here we go. I think you'll kick it off. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, brother. What do we got?
Well, these kind of either got wet or were fed after midnight since we started the show because they grew in number.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm starting off, and I know I've talked about this before, but Calm is free for educators. Especially this time of year, I know jumping back in, still trying to do stuff around the house because technically it's still summer. Still have to do yard work, grass, everything else going on. Starting school back up. You have other activities going on in life in general. It gets hectic. So if you Google Calm for Education, you could log in. It's free for teachers, free for classrooms. I don't use this with my students. I do play relaxing music. I do stuff like that, the lo-fi music, things of that nature. I have kids. I know our teachers in gym class will do yoga and stuff for them. I do it because I'm at that age. I have to stretch. If I don't stretch after a while, I like walk like Frankenstein down the steps in the morning. So I have to do that. But this is good for teachers. Clears your head. It relaxes you. I'm very much based off of music. It affects my mood in general. And if I'm studying, I need the white noise. I'll listen to like classical stuff like that. But this is another way to calm down. They have music for work. wisdom, calming kids, movement, sleep. I'm on the right here, meditations. So there's a lot there. It's a mobile app. Sign in with your school email, and you have access to all of this for yourself or for your classes. I use it for myself. And you get, there's a free version, and then there's the paid version. Educators get the paid version for free. So that's number one. If you Google Calm for educators, this will pop up. Second one, the two that I originally started with, linoit.com. So if you just Google Lino, it's free. It is a sticky board.
Oh.
So what I wanted to do, we were talking with, dictators, and I just did all the leaders, not just the dictators. But so I did, just the idea was for the kids to come up, because they're like, I always get confused with who's who and what side they're on. So I made sticky notes. Here's all the leaders from World War II. They're in one color, mixed them up on the board. Then the countries they represent or they're leaders of in another color. And then another color was, are they Axis or Allies? And my idea was the kids can come up on the board, big touch screen, move things around. I had them scrambled, and they can move stuff around. For some reason, I could add stickers from the touch board. I could edit these stickers from the touch board by hitting these icons, but I could not grab and move these around, which kind of flustered me a bit today. I have to admit, I stress ate some chocolate in the morning. But so, Brendan, if you're listening, that was the issue I was having. I also used on the ViewSonic board their native app, but I couldn't move the individual Post-its around that way either. So I don't know if there's something wrong on the settings or what, but it's just a nice little, like, Padlet gives you 3 free Padlets before you have to pay. So I really don't want, I've limited budget at school, and I've already spent a good bit of it on some other tools. I didn't want to sink more money into Padlet. I like Padlet, but I figure I can use some Padlets and, this tool, and there's some other ones that you can use too. So I have several different things. I don't have the kids sign up for an account with this. This is for my use. And I have several different ones that do similar tasks, so I can work it with the free version. And,
Nice.
Working from the computer, which was a Microsoft device. Nothing against Microsoft devices, but it wasn't an Apple. It was zipping around. Yes, it is hardwired HDMI, which is throwing me, because I could write on the board. I could do everything interactive on the board. I just can't move these Post-its around. I couldn't move Padlet Post-its around, and I couldn't move the native app ViewSonic board Post-its around. So I don't understand what was going on with that. Thank you. Brandon's in the background, said he'll work on it. I appreciate that. Then from the KTI Slack, we had Southwestern Regional Director Addie Wallace posted. She was looking for school appropriate memes, educational memes. And Becca Cangelosi, who's another KTI star and Southeast member, posted this website, Ed Tomorrow, First 5. And they have memes. They have stuff that pops up every day. Sign up for the First 5. Free daily resource. I did some research on it. It's legit. She's done research on it. It's legit. So shout out to Becca for sharing this.
Way to go.
Check it out. It's a free resource. So it'll pop up daily in your mailbox, gives you ideas, gives you memes, all kinds of fun stuff. And then, as we were talking, the choice board. So it's genially, I got it from Ditch That Textbook. They have all those free resources. And I came across this last year, and my students last year loved it. So I rolled it out this year since I'm, pushing the phones. And you can download not download, but make a copy for yourself and add to it. So the creativity, the kids love this one. You can do keyboard music. You can do coloring. The quick draw is fantastic. I did learn, and it's kind of hurt my self-esteem a bit. I can't draw broccoli that's distinguishable in 20 seconds.
Okay.
So I put this up on the board, and it's can a neural network learn to recognize doodling? So you just draw with your finger or the pen. I do it on the board in front of the school. The kids or in front of my classroom. Kids can use their Chromebooks, or I'll let's turn on the big board and they'll go up front. And you hit the button, draw a whale in under 20 seconds.
I see boomerang, or snake, or mouse, or crocodile. I see shark. I see airplane, or hen, or trombone, or helicopter.
And it's not.
Oh, I know. It's whale.
So, the kids got a kick out of it. Then the blob opera, blob beats. There's different paint with music, piano, and if you go back to it, there's other things you can do too with TED Talks, learning. There's all different things that you can run with it. So it's pretty interesting. The kids like it, and then like I said, they were giving me some other ideas that I'm going to make a copy of this. I use theirs. You're allowed to. And then I'm going to add to it. Once I make sure I have it the way I want it, I'll roll that out. I just linked it in. And I tell the kids, take a screenshot and, of what you did, send it to me. And the way I'm trying to gamify things, I'm thinking I'm going to do a bingo card with Bingo Baker. And as they complete some of these side quests instead of enrichment activities, I'll keep track of it. They get a stamp. And if they complete the card, they get a big prize every 9 weeks. And if they don't complete the card, no harm, no foul. They get points for what they complete. And, it's totally voluntary. So, I brought this in to help with the gamification.
It's good stuff there. I like that, buddy. Nice.
Thank you. So I figure, because usually I get shamed by I'll do like one or two things and you do 17. I came out with 4.
You did.
You'll come out with 8. That's okay.
I think I'm going to match you. I was only going to do 2, but I'm going to share 2 other quick notes for you. All right, here we go. Good job with tech notes. Kick into the next one.
Sir.
All right, me and my KTI fidget spinner rolling here. Okay, so kind of going with what Don was talking about, it just made me think, what, I'm going to share these. These are always my top 2 go-tos. If you're looking for music for the classroom, okay, and I got my Spotify, and if you're taking classes, by all means, sign up as a student. You're going to save a lot of money, but we have a family Spotify that we share. So Vitamin String Quartet, they're my number 1 go-to. They quartet, right? 4 people playing. They got, it's just, there you go. You see them all in action there, and they play pop music. So music that the kids are familiar with hearing, again, if they're singing along, whatever, but I just play it quietly. And then if the volume in the classroom's too low, I'll just drop that music down a little bit. And without doing anything, without any kind of me being verbally or, just me sharing any cues or whatever, even talking to the kids, just a simple up and down of the volume can just control how it's going. And then again, you could pick some different songs because there is a lot of research into the tempo of the song and what the thinking is going to be. So Vitamin String Quartet out of the gate, that's my number 1. My number 2 is Simply 3. All right. These guys, again, same concept, right? They're playing their instruments, and these guys do a great job, again, playing a lot of that pop music. So those are my top 2 I give any teacher who's looking for music in the classroom, because it's all 100% instrumental, but it's pop music that the kids know. So they're trying to listen in and they're tapping, they're kind of doing the deal. And again, you control it by that. So those are 2 that I didn't have on the docket, just to complement what Dom was saying with the music piece. So just wanted to add to it. So, all right, there we go.
I have stolen those ideas from you with Spotify. Those 2 groups are phenomenal. Another thank you, Mr. Verno.
Hey, buddy. That's all right, man. We're all better together. All right. So Here's a tip that I got. All right. So a tech note tip for our teachers. Now, more of you on the east side than the west side. We were talking a little about Sheets. All right. And in the New York area, this area, we got Rudders. And my daughter had a joking feud with one guy who works and has a ministry through our church. And she was the Sheets gal, and he was all about Wawa. And they all have their great points. But right now, Wawa, all right, they've got an initiative, all right, for teachers. So we've got free hot coffee of any size. Now, I have heard that it's coffee or a fountain drink. This release on Yahoo Life, who even knew Yahoo was still around, is saying from September 2nd through the 15th, according to the chain, let them know you're a teacher, take your ID in. So go ahead and fill it up. Now, we're getting a couple in the area. We got maybe over at Lancaster, a little bit further of a drive, but I know a lot of our schools are near Wawa. So like I said, right now, I've heard Wawa is doing this appreciation for teachers. So be sure to get your free cup of Joe.
Yeah, as of now, we have no Wawas in the area. There's rumors are coming in, but I would love if Sheets did something like this, or even another Western Pennsylvania Get-Go. That would be phenomenal.
Wow. Okay. I've not heard of that one. All right. Now, so here's another one where we did our travels during Labor Day, went up to visit my in-laws up in a little place called Wallapin, Lily Lake. We like to visit. And then on the drive home, I'll listen to different podcasts. We listen to, there's a remake, it's called The Office Ladies. They do going back through the different Office TV shows, talking about it, bringing people on, so I bore my family with a lot of that stuff. And there was a point where there was a lull in the conversation. My wife goes, "Oh, I have something." And so I had to look it up here and share. It's called Headway. And it's a 15-minute book summary. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of like it's this new thing, that she's hearing about it. Maybe, I've not heard of it before, called micro learning." So she was able to kind of go in and look and find different topics to kind of like for it to talk about. And it breaks it down. So basically it'll summarize a book or a few books on a topic. And it's a 15-minute book summary in essence. So again, you're not necessarily looking at the latest, greatest that's out there, but there's a lot of different things in there. There was one on nutrition. There was one on self-care. The kids were kind of getting a little rowdy on the drive because it was a little longer of a drive than they were looking forward to. So I said, "Hey, look up if there's anything about, helping to raise teens that are fighting." And there was a book there. They didn't care for that. But anyway, the book was pretty bad. We turned it off. But like I said, just something different. We do, obviously we're coming to you on your favorite podcast app, or if you're watching us through YouTube, but just to give, some shout outs to some things there. And again, we all have those drives to work. So just a quick 15-minute nugget, or as Dom was talking about, it's getting easier to walk the stairs, doing different things. So you might do the Calm app. You might do this, just to listen to some different stuff, just that micro burst of information. So just thought it'd be worth to share for anybody else who haven't heard. So Headway, free app. This is on Google Play. She's got the iPhone, so it's on Apple Store as well.
Nice, because I'm 20 minutes door to door. That's right in my wheelhouse. It's hard to listen to podcasts in that 20-minute span because I don't get through too far. I get a little segment. It's not clear cut. And then even like, Sirius XM or terrestrial radio, I hit the wrong time. I get into ads or I get one long song. I mean, Anna-Gata-Da-Vida by Iron Butterfly, the long version is door to door pretty much for me. I get in the car, pull out of the driveway, and I'm pulling in the parking lot and it's just ending. So
what day it's going to be when Mr. Salvucci rolls into the parking lot with that playing. Yeah. And just looking here real quick, I didn't want to click through too much while we were doing that segment, but it's got 1,500 plus book summaries with the world's best ideas. So a lot of different things there. You can even do different plans. They've got 30-day growth plans. So gamified challenges. So there's a lot of different things that are they're built within. But again, I think that concept of micro learning, I definitely think there's a lot of things out there when I did a search, because there's a lot of different apps out there. And I think that's just kind of like the way our lives are. Again, like you said, from door to door, you got about 20 minutes. So that fits right in the wheelhouse. I have about 20 minutes or so, depending on how traffic is on I-83 for me. But so just something to look at. So Headway. So some different tech notes for you to check out. Let's close it out. All right.
But as we're closing out, as always, if you have any good ideas, you have some tech notes you'd like to hear about or tell us about, please reach out to us, pod@pact.org, or email us, dominic.salvucci@pact.org or eric.verno@pact.org, and let us know.
Yeah. Got a lot of things going, a lot of things cooking. We're always trying to find things that are going to help each and every one of you where you're at, in the classroom, doing the different things. So a lot of cool stuff happening. And we do have, I was just trying to look real quick. I know we have the KTI chat's going to be coming up here shortly. And I think Mr. Powell, who is watching, and some other guests are going to be working on cranking that out. So I think that's coming up in October. I could be wrong with that. So we got the pod rolling. We got some things coming with our PD committee going to be coming on, sharing some different things. We've got looking at doing some stuff with AI, just having like a kind of an update of the status and where it's at in the classroom. So again, we've got some things kind of put down, but always looking for information, ideas, tips, tricks, anything that you want to share.
And if you are, go ahead.
I was just saying, email us at pod@pact.org too, if you want to give us any tech notes or tech news requests.
And if you are affiliated with higher education, there was a post out there on social media, I believe Instagram. We are getting our student chapters for college students up and running again. So please reach out to us if you are interested. You're at a university or college and you want more information, please reach out to us. We'll get you in touch with the appropriate people.
Yeah. And actually we did talk about getting them on as well. So
yeah.
Yep. Good idea there. So, all right, man. Well, we're hitting that magic moment. We're at 52 minutes or so. And, it's been a great pod, a lot of different information. So hopefully everybody's having a great start to their school year. And, as things are going. So, the PACTV pod, we are
the voice of EdTech in Pennsylvania
and
beyond.
All right. Let's thank our sponsors. Thank you all for being here tonight.
PACT would like to say thank you to all of our sponsors.
Venture sponsor, EduSpire, corporate council members, ClassLink, ClearTouch.
Thank you to our gold sponsors,
Howard Technology Solutions, and Teachers First.
Thank you to our event sponsors, DRC, Data Recognition Corporation, and Edmentum. We at PACT truly appreciate your support. Thank you once again.